Good evening, everybody. I am Dadbod. Tonight we are playing a brand new game. This just came out a couple of days ago, and had a couple people ask me to do a playthrough on it, and I'm going in totally blind. I can't wait. The game we're playing tonight is I Love You, Colonel Sanders, a finger-licking good dating simulator. There's no way that this is not going to be amazing. Let's go. I can't wait. Can't wait. Oh, this is actually by KFC. All right. Let's see what this is all about. Oh! Oh, what is this? This is like good. Look, what is? Oh my god! Oh, this is gonna be great. All right, that's amazing. That is amazing. Oh my god. All right, well, here we go. Before we get started, tell us your name. Obviously. Let's got the biscuits and drumsticks. Very nice. Very nice touch. I can't wait. Oh. You sleep softly as the morning sun casts a warm glow through the window of your modest student apartment. The world is peaceful and serene. You could stay in the moment forever. Or you could wake up now. Your first day of culinary school is no time to sleep in. What do? Smack that clock up and at 'em? Or throw the clock out the window and stay in bed forever? No, we got some things to do. Let's go. Lying in bed, you stare at the ceiling, thinking about everything that awaits you at the prestigious University of Cooking School, Academy for Learning. Your mind begins to wander. Who will be there? What will you cook? What should you wear? Time begins to fly by, and you find your imagination getting away from you. Let's see, our choices are you need to take this seriously, or you allow yourself to daydream a bit, thinking about the future. No, we need to take this serious. This is a dating sim. Yeah. I better make sure to arrive prepared for the first day. You bust through your morning checklist, teeth brushed, hair combed, pits deodorized. Nothing can stop you now. You confidently grab a biscuit, strut out the door, and head off to class. Oh, dang. Just what you needed to get your blood flowing. A delicious buttery biscuit from Kentucky Fried Chicken. Presumably. Standing in the quad, you gaze upon the magnificent University of Cooking School Academy for Learning. Here comes your lifelong best friend forever, Miriam. She's the most adorably awkward person you've ever met, and you absolutely love her for it. Good morning, I am Dadbod. Are you excited for the first day of the rest of our lives? Actually, because I sure am, excited, a little nervous, okay, a lot nervous. It's just that this morning I made breakfast for myself, but, well, when I ate it, I couldn't taste any love in the food. What if I'm no good? What if I fail? Classic Miriam. Raised by Master Chef parents, she's always held herself to a very high standard. Ever since we were little babies playing together and you rescued me from that quicksand box, it's been clear to me that you're the most loving, caring person I know. You're gonna do great. But with University of Cooking School Academy for Learning's famous 3-day only semesters, I'm afraid of being left behind and never catching up. A sweet girl, Miriam has always had a flair for the dramatic. This summer she got so nervous about her first kiss that she chipped a tooth practicing on a mannequin. Should you pep talk her or change the subject to give her some relief? She's my best friend. Pep talk time. We gotta go. Remember last month when we saw that fortune teller and had our tarot cards read? The lady with the mask who gave me nightmares? I've been trying to forget. I know she looks spooky, but she was so sweet, and she told you that you were destined for great things. Remember that card with the fancy-looking tower, and that other card featuring the handsome fellow in the red suit? I've been waiting for so long to meet a handsome fellow I could call my own. And I'm sure you will soon. In no time, we'll be graduating, and you'll be delighting the world with your heartfelt cooking in no time. As you talk Miriam up, you can feel her nerves begin to ease. You know what? Maybe everything will be okay after all, says Miriam. And if not, at least I have these killer bangs. Can you believe I cut them myself? Yeah, I can actually. You definitely can believe it. I cannot believe it. Before you can get another word out, you're rudely interrupted when someone smacks your books and custom-engraved measuring spoons out of your hands and onto the ground. Hey! It's Ashley, your arch-rival. She's totally evil, but you can't help but be filled with jealousy. She can get anything she wants, and she knows it. Wonder why. Hello, Ashley. That's a weird way of spelling it. Oh, I didn't see you there, chicken shins. You leave I Am Dad Bod's shins alone. They're perfectly normal shins. I would say so. Ugh, you can't stand Ashley. Even her name is annoying. You know for a fact it's actually Ashley, but she had to add extra letters to make herself feel better than everybody. Got him. If anyone here knows what perfect shins looks like, it's us. Get him. We're not going to let you or your really weird insults get us. Across the quad, you can see Ashley's best friend, Van the Man, has stopped to look at his own reflection in the mirror. His pants are so tight, you can see him casually working out his glutes while he styles his hair. No lie, they're rocking glutes. Van, you rang? Oh, this guy. You've never been sure what their arrangement is, but as long as you've known them, Ashley and Van have been just as close as you and Miriam, but substantially more devious. Look at that dude's hair. That's fascinating. I can't believe that University of Cooking School Academy for Learning would ever allow people like you to attend as students. I know, right? You'd think they'd just hand us our diplomas now. Or maybe hire us on as professors. You amateurs could learn a lot from us, says Van. With the first day of school about to start, there's just not time to properly tell these two off, so you resist the urge. Let's go, Miriam. Psh, see you later, losers. As you approach the door, you see a goofy-looking kid pushing hard against the window directly next to it. Oh, wow, this guy looks like a winner. Oh, all right. Oh, says Pop. Oopsie, I think it's broken. You reach forward and easily pull the door open. That should do the trick. I love you. I think you mean thank you. My name is Pop. I was named after my Pop. He's old. Could someone like this also be a student at the school? He must be one heck of a chef. Also, his name tag clearly says Bob, but I guess he's reading it upside down. This kid looks like a winner. Hi, Pop. I am Dad Bod. So, are you going to make me hold this door all day? Nope. And with that, the young man walks into the building ahead of you. Is it just me, or is he kind of cute? It's just you. I think it's just you. You both shrug your shoulders before following him into the building. You stand at the edge of the room, unsure where to sit. Other students wander in and keep themselves busy chit-chatting. A scruffy-looking pooch takes his place at the podium at the front of class. Adorable. Now, quiet down, everyone. Who is this unreasonably cute pup, and why is he in our culinary class? You must be Sprinkles, head instructor and CEO of UCSAL. Please call me Professor Dog. I may be cute and little and fluffy, but I still demand respect. Woof. What? A cute dog is our professor? This is the best school ever. I guess only a dog's nose is capable of picking up all the nuances of fine dining. Out of nowhere, wind begins to rush around you as a swirl of cherry blossom petals fill the air inside the classroom. Pop says, I'm chilly. Someone close the window. And then, He walks in. You're immediately swept up in the aura of this new student and his remarkable goatee. Who knew anyone could be so handsome? Time stands still. It's him. If it isn't my favorite student, Harland. Colonel Sanders interrupts Sprinkles. Sorry, Professor Dog. Before he can finish his sentence, please call me Colonel. Colonel Sanders. A hushed murmur rolls through the classroom as Colonel Sanders walks down the aisle of desks. Suddenly, the room is sweltering. Sweat begins to bead across your brow. You feel like everyone is looking at you, and you're not entirely wrong. And this over here must be Sweaty Sweats a Lot, says Ashley. Maybe we should open that window back up before Faucet Pits melts into a puddle and evaporates entirely. Sick burn, Van Van. Hold on just a second, Miriam says. Nobody talks to my friend like that. You two both know my name. We were in the same kindergarten class. And what is with all your really weird insults? Right. Besides, when I am Dad Bod Sweats, it's not gross, it's beautiful. Look at that shimmer. Not bad. You take a moment to clean yourself up. That's what we'll do. It's a good thing you didn't forget about that deodorant this morning. This classroom is hot, hot, hot. Whew. Professor Dog steps in to settle the class down and set some ground rules. Welcome to University of Cooking School, Academy for Learning, the greatest culinary academy in the world. The birthplace of culinary legends past, present, and future. Many challenges await you. There will be tears, there will be blood. There might even be really adorable tiny food. And when all is said and done, there will be a battle. You will lift your sporks and compete in the broom cooking arena. Nice. Just then, another student enters the classroom and interrupts the professor's rousing speech. It's a generic-looking person. Doesn't look like they even gave him a name. Hi guys, sorry I'm late. I hope everyone had a good summer. I really miss... Quiet, says Professor Dog. Late to class is bad enough, but interrupting my monologue? You're on the fast track out of here, young man. Are you sure you're even in the right place? Don't you recognize me? This is my 3rd year in this school with you as my teacher. Everyone stares at him blankly. Does no one remember me? You are expelled if you utter one more word before I finish, says Professor Dog. Let that be a lesson to you students that tardiness is unacceptable. Even Clank made it here on time, rolling halfway across town on his tiny wheels. Clank. You turn to see the student Sprinkles is referencing, who appears to be some sort of industrial kitchen appliance. Bzzzt and whir. It's not joking. The class bursts into laughter. Oh, Clank, you rascal! Sprinkles walks in the classroom as everyone stands in silent obedience. When he gets to you, he lifts his nose into the air and takes a deep sniff. Your diet is lacking. Based on what I'm picking up here, you definitely need a multivitamin. You should be taking better care of yourself. Damn. You've never had a talking dog as a teacher before, but Sprinkles' reputation for being smart but tough is well known. You decide to try and butter him up by giving him a treat from your pocket. But what kind? We've got a beef treat, a rubber ball, and a chicken snack. Well, seeing as this is a game by the Kentucky Fried Chicken Company, let's go ahead with chicken snack. Bet it goes over well. You reach beneath your apron and return with the chicken snack in your hand. Sprinkles' eyes go wide as he locks onto it. His favorite. Yes. Well, I think there might be some competition for new star student. The furry professor immediately devours the snack, leaving your hands slick with a coating of warm doggy drool. You see the other students eyeing you jealously, but pay no mind to them. If they wanted to succeed in life, they should have learned the importance of carrying a range of dog treat flavors on them at all times. Settle down, young chefs. Take your seats and prepare to have your minds open to the amazing possibilities of culinary creation. As everyone rushes to claim their favorite seats, you're left standing at the front of the room. Only two options remain. Hey, I am Dad Bod. There's still a seat here. Colonel Sanders says, it seems that no one has claimed this seat next to me if you're interested. Oof. Two good options, but which will you choose? Well, I think it's obvious. You move to take your seat by Colonel Sanders. It appears he brought no books, pens, or pencils. However, his perfect upright posture shows off a seriousness that makes you confident in his desire to learn. Thanks for offering me this seat, says I am Dad Bod. I've only had two rules, says Colonel Sanders. Do all you can and do it the best you can. It's the only way you ever get that feeling of accomplishing something. That's so inspiring. A little off topic if you ask me, but okay. As soon as you've settled into your seat, the professor makes an announcement. Think fast, it's time for a pop quiz. Yay, a quiz about me, says Pop. This incredibly important and surprisingly short quiz will tell me if you are ready for life at culinary school. Keep your knives sharp and your focus sharper. Here comes question number 1. If train A is traveling to point B and train B is traveling to point A, how important is it to wash your hands before cooking? Yeah, I don't really like Pop, so we're just going to do a light roast. Extremely looking at you, Pop. That's right. Nice. Forest is to tree as chicken is to feather. Okay. That's right. What is the most efficient eating utensil ever created? A comically oversized fork, a meat tenderizer, or a spork? It's obviously a spork. There's no way it's not a spork. Yes, that's right. What food is best for a broken heart? Anything as long as it's prepared with love and not too much salt. Camel meat. Is it camel meat? A pancake that looks like a silly face. Well, if these points actually mean anything, it's got to be anything as long as it's prepared with love and not too much salt. Boom. Is Sprinkles a good boy? No. Yes. Or he's a talking dog that teaches at culinary school. He is the best boy. That is also right. Boom. Perfect score. 5 out of 5. Wow. Be honest. Did you cheat? No, that just wasn't that hard. There's probably a whole bunch of answers that were also right. You look up to see that Colonel Sanders has been watching you tally your score. He's impressed. That's what I'm talking about. I know we just met, but I have to confess, I think you have a beautiful brain. Hot diggity, I am Dad Bod. You just scored some major Colonel Sanders points with that performance. May I have your attention, students, says Professor Dog. I have an important announcement to make. Time for lunch. Yes. Wow, the cafeteria is as nice as any restaurant you've ever eaten at. It makes sense that a school dedicated to cooking would also be serious about eating. Makes sense? A delicious fragrance wafts through the room and tickles the end of your nose. Your mouth waters. Do you smell that, says Miriam? That must be our lunch. It smells crazy good. Everyone, can I have your attention, says the weird student. Is it about lunch, says Pop. Student says, no, I just wanted to apologize for my tardiness. You see, I was... Colonel Sanders butts in. Howdy, folks. I'd like to make an announcement. Hey, It's about lunch. Everyone cheers. But Shh, says Miriam. Lunch, 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 says Pop. She said, shh. And Pop. In honor of the new semester, I have prepared something special to share with everyone for lunch. That must be the smell I smelled, says Miriam. Indeed, that smell? You hold your breath, waiting to see what food this mysterious student has created. You've heard that he's very talented, but were the rumors true? Is this? Colonel Sanders lifts a large bucket above his head. Its contents glimmer in the light. Piled high are huge pieces of chicken, breaded and fried to a crispy golden finish. The aroma envelops you, and you begin to feel warm and safe. Colonel Sanders has filled a bucket with chicken? What a novel concept. Your stomach begins to grumble as if to say, stop thinking and just start eating. For years, I've been developing a secret recipe for the perfect fried chicken, says Colonel Sanders. By my calculation, nothing less than 11 herbs and spices are required to achieve the perfect balance of flavor. You look around and notice that every other student has a pen and paper and is scribbling notes as fast as they can. But that's all I'll say about it, says Colonel Sanders. Van Van says, what? You think we want your stupid secret recipe, dude? Pshaw. Nah, my dude, nah. I'm just drafting a last will and testament in case one of those ingredients is poison. Got him. That's, once again, another sick burn, Van Van. He looks around nervously to see if anyone else is laughing at his sick burn. You wait to see what zinger Ashley has prepared to follow up, but she suddenly takes a different approach. Yeah, and I was just writing in my diary. Dear diary, today I smelled something beautiful. I know at that moment that only the hand of a true gentleman could fry chicken so tender. You see her body language change from bitter and evil to sweet and innocent as she slides closer to Colonel Sanders. She realizes that he is destined for greatness and fame with cooking skills like this. She wants him all to herself. Oh, please, says Van Van. Well, says Colonel Sanders, Van Van the man, if you don't want any, I'll take his, says... I said that, actually. It's pretty good. Whoa, hold on, I guess I'll try it, said Van Van. He takes one bite and his eyes grow wide. He starts contorting his face as he tries to hold in his pure exhilaration and act unimpressed. Easy now, says Colonel Sanders. There's enough for everyone. Please, my fellow classmates, dig in. You take one of the pieces of fried chicken out of this bucket and sink your teeth into it. It's amazing. Tasting Colonel Sanders' food transports you to another dimension. Alone with your taste buds gripping a drumstick in your hand, you float weightlessly. What do? We focus your mind and meditate on this moment. Try and identify every flavor. Savor the moment and everything that it tells you about Colonel Sanders' culinary heart, or we swim towards the light. I'm going to savor this moment for a second. I need a drink. Delicious. The flavors in your mouth are beautiful, pure, and heavenly. What a guy. Alone with the flavors, you feel something that can only be described as love. For a man, for flavor, are they the same? After tasting his food, you try to get some one-on-one time with Colonel Sanders. Let's approach. Colonel Sanders smiles ever so softly as you approach. He stops what he is doing and allows you to break the silence. Colonel, I was wondering if I could talk to you for a second. Anything for a fellow chef. What exactly was on that chicken? How bold to come out and ask. It's an idea I had for a new combination of flavors that will make me my fortune and establish my legacy for all time as I open a chain of highly successful fried chicken restaurants. No big deal. It's just you and me here talking. I can keep a secret. In fact, I've got some of my own I'd be willing to trade. Oh, he doesn't seem excited about that. What's the rush? The semester's only getting started. We've got 2 more whole days to get to know each other. Can't wait. He's clearly not going to give up so easily, but it doesn't hurt to be persistent. You know what they say about secrets, Colonel. Shouldn't learning be fun? You've got moxie, I'll give you that. Colonel Sanders looks both ways to make sure you're the only one there, and you're truly alone, and then leans in. You can feel his warm breath as he whispers. Just one ingredient, but you can't tell. It's something my great-grandmother taught me. Wow, you'd never have guessed that. In fact, you're not even sure where you'd get some of that if you searched. While you're wrapped up in that huge revelation, you notice that Colonel Sanders has disappeared. While everyone else is still in the cafeteria, you decide to go look for him. You find Colonel Sanders outside, standing in the quad. Oh, it's you again. Howdy. Sometimes I like to come outside and look at the school buildings. I think about how my story will continue on after I've graduated. It sounds like you have big plans. I dare say the biggest. I will leave my mark on this world. You can bet on that. Alone together for the first time, you figure now is the perfect moment to show you your personality to him. Neg him to show your own strength. Wow him with a big idea to add an additional ingredient to really spice things up, or be modest but thoughtful. Seems like the safe way to go, huh? No. Well, I just wanted to tell you that I really enjoyed your food. That worked. Now you've got his attention. The flavors were complex but comforting. The interplay between salty, savory, and peppery, it was perfect. I appreciate the compliment, I am Dad Bod. I'm sure you'll be a big success. I know we've only met today, but I'm starting to get the same feeling about you. We should head back inside. The next lesson starts soon. You step into the massive cooking arena where the afternoon lesson will take place. Each student gets an oven and all the tools and ingredients they could need. Look at this place. It's magnificent. Finally, we get to show our stuff. Wait a second. Oh no, we have to show our stuff. What if I totally blow it? You're not going to blow anything, except maybe kisses to the crowd of fans you're going to earn with your signature adorable tiny food creations. Welcome, students, to the cooking arena, says Professor Dog. For today's lesson, we'll be cooking with partners. Hurry up and pair off. Naturally, Miriam looks over at you, but unable to control yourself, you pounce on Colonel Sanders. Hey, Colonel, would you like to tackle this lesson as a team? Team of two. That is, me and you, if that wasn't clear. Want to be my partner? Sure, I am Dad Bod, says Colonel Sanders. I'll prepare our station. Without you as a partner, Miriam is left standing all alone. Two different students quickly take notice. Hello, new partner, says Pop. Beep boop, bzz, says Clank. Oh my, two potential partners, says Miriam. I'm so sorry, gentlemen, but I don't know who to choose. It looks like you'll have to pick for her. Friend duties can be a little awkward, but that's the price you pay for not being alone forever. Who do you want to ask to be Miriam's partner? Well, I hate Pop. He's always got a juice box in his hand, so already don't like him. So we're going with Clank. And Clank is sweet because he's like a kitchen appliance. It's a pressure cooker, which is kind of legit. Sorry, Pop, but I think Miriam will be partnering with Clank today. Pop, it's okay. I already ate. It's not entirely clear if Pop has any idea what the point of school even is at this juncture. Clank is clearly excited to have some attention. He heats up and begins to roll back and forth. Warp, 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 says Clank. This is going to get weird. Hold on there, fella. We don't even know the assignment yet. Technically, Clank might not have a face, but there's something charming and earnest about him. Bzzzt, says Clank. Tissue? I hardly know you. Clank judders, and a panel shakes loose. You get the impression that this is a sign of affection. Looks like you two will be fine. Now it's time to focus on your own cooking classwork. All right, you two, for today's lesson, we're going to keep it simple. Pick a basic dish and divide up the steps. No chef is an island. It takes 2 flints to make a fire. You get the idea. Which dish do you suggest for your partner, Colonel Sanders? Steak tartare seems easy enough. It's fancy and you don't even need to cook it. Using octopus will blow Colonel Sanders' mind. Your grandmother's mashed potatoes and gravy. Well, I wonder how my mashed potatoes stack up to Colonel Sanders' mashed potatoes. Let's find out. I've always been something of a down-home chef. I was thinking we could make something warm, inviting, comforting. Maybe mashed potatoes? And gravy, says Colonel Sanders. I couldn't imagine one without the other. Colonel Sanders casts a coy look at you, causing your whole face to go beet red. Embarrassed, you quickly turn away. I'll go get the potatoes. No, please, let me. Picking perfect produce is a passion of mine. Looks like things are getting pretty fresh around here, says Ashley. Does someone have a crush on Colonel Sanders? We're just cooking partners. Mind your own business, Ashley. Sanders' heart is my business, and you'd better keep your fingers off my man. Wow. Did someone call for me? Oh, Van Van. Oh, no, geez, Van Van. While I'm over here crushing I Am Dad Bod's dreams, you're supposed to be taking care of our classwork. That was the deal, remember? Colonel Sanders returns, arms full of peeled potatoes. He tosses them into boiling water and turns his attention to you and your old friends. That's music. What's going on here? Oh, howdy there, Ashley, Van Van. Are we working in a quartet instead of a duet now? Actually, no. It looked like I Am Dad Bod was struggling, so we offered to give them a hand. You know how it is. These young amateur chefs need a lot of mentoring. Damn. I was going to say, Colonel Sanders, maybe I could also teach you a thing or two about fancy food, says Van Van. Maybe one day you might be able to get up to my level. Ha! Doubt it. Oh, he looks pissed. Don't be rude, Van Van. Personally, I have no doubts whatsoever about Colonel Sanders' ability to concoct creations worthy of admiration. After all, your fried chicken was quite spectacular. But Colonel, if you ask me, I might make a better partner for you than this thing that had positioned itself at your station. Is she talking about me? All right. Don't you feel deep down that we cast complementary shadows? We fit together like a thigh and a drumstick. It just makes sense. Nothing about this makes any sense, but one thing is clear. She's coming for Colonel, and if you don't watch out... Ashley is really going at you hard. You need to ask for some backup here before things get ugly. Do we turn to Colonel Sanders, hunk of hunks, in your time of need, or turn to Miriam, your forever bestie who always has your back? My bestie will have my back. Hopefully she's not too pissed at me for picking Colonel Sanders. You turn to Miriam, and as soon as you find her, she senses it and looks back. This girl's friend in need radar is second to none. She immediately comes running over. Is somebody threatening my friend? I will destroy them, says Miriam. I actually think that Ashley and Van Van were just leaving. Leaving you in the dust. Vis-a-vis my skills as a chef, perhaps, but stepping away from this competition, you were sorely mistaken. Miriam, you're a loyal friend, but I Am Dad Bod is my partner for today's activity. You look for Sprinkles in hopes that he might step in, but he's nowhere to be found. Darn those cute corgis and their short but sturdy stature. You look down at your station and realize that in the tension of the moment, your hands have been cooking on autopilot. Distracted by the drama, you've already crushed and boiled potatoes in a perfectly creamy mashed texture, with plenty of butter and cream for flavor. It's as if your natural passion guided you through the steps you know so well while your attention was elsewhere. I know just what to do, says Colonel Sanders. Colonel Sanders extends his hand. He's holding a beautiful white porcelain gravy boat, out of which pours a smooth brown gravy, smothering your nearly finished potato dish. Oh, gravy flows down the mound of mashed potatoes. The results look spectacular. Granny would have been proud. That looks delicious. Colonel Sanders holds his spork out to you. You reach out and grab hold of it, but he doesn't immediately let go. The two of you stand holding the same spork, and for that small moment, all of the madness and pressures in this crazy world stops. Your eyes lock. The moment is electric. Time stands still. Colonel Sanders says, if you love something, set it free. Together, you dig the utensil into the mashed potatoes and lift a heaping sporkful up. When you see Ashley with a sinister look, you know she's plotting against you to be with Colonel Sanders. And then, filled with rage and without thinking, you fling the sporkful of mashed potatoes right into Ashley's stupid, beautiful face. Van Van, do something! Do something! Scooping up a fingerful, Van Van tastes the dripping mashed potatoes and gravy and realizes that it is delicious. Horrified by this revelation, he slinks away. Will he ever be able to cook something with so much love and integrity? I think not. Hold on right there, I Am Dad Bod, says Professor Dog. We do not waste food in the broom cooking arena. Colonel Sanders, I expect better from you. If you throw one more spoonful, you'd both better be prepared to eat it from wherever it lands. Can I has potatoes face? Says Pop. Van Van rushes back over, a covered dish in his hand. Mashed potatoes with gravy? Pathetic. In just a few minutes, I've prepared a full meal. Gaze upon my specialty, braised tentacle of octopus in my silky saltwater sauce, plated on a battle axe blade forged by my supreme chef ancestors. Damn. You've ignored me for too long, says the weird student. That ends now. It is I who will have first bite, and you will all look on with envy. The interrupting student rushes at Van Van and swipes a bite off his signature dish right off the plate. Sprinkle says, no, don't. Something about this dish doesn't strike my nose quite right. I think the octopus was rushed and may have turned in the process. The result could be toxic. Too late. It's been eaten. I think I left something in the oven, says Van Van. I don't feel so good, says the student. It killed him? This kid just died? He's a ghost now. Everyone step back. Don't take another bite. When you look back at the plate, the rest of it is gone. Yes. Pop's eating it. You notice the tip of the tentacle being slurped up in Pop's mouth. We can have two ghosts. Pop winces in pain for just a moment, then is almost immediately back to his oblivious self. What? Oops. Tastes like poison. The entire class is gathered to watch Pop's final moments. Shock has frozen the whole crowd. They are as motionless as statues. The class bell rings, disrupting the moment, snapping everyone back to reality. It would appear that Pop's enthusiasm for trying new things, despite oblivious danger, has inoculated him against poisons of all kind. That's disappointing. Very disappointing, I would have to say. I'm not sure the professors here make enough money, says Sprinkles. Hello. I just turned into a ghost over here, says Ghost of a student. Seeing that you're shaken up by that really annoying student and all his nonsense, Colonel Sanders approaches you. I'm sorry you had to go through that. Please, let me walk you home. What? Like for real? Oh, come on, says the ghost of a student. You follow Colonel Sanders out of the room. At night, the school building has taken on another vibe entirely. It's dark and more than a little spooky. Colonel Sanders stands in the quad's neon glow and speaks softly. Those mashed potatoes you made in class today, before you go on, I want you to know they're not a great representation of my skills. I didn't even realize I was making them. They were amazing. Tasting them, it reminded me why I became so passionate about food to begin with. Colonel Sanders is getting choked up. Cooking is obviously important to him in a way that you find inspiring. Now might be the perfect time to tell him you're developing feelings for him. Colonel Sanders? Yes, I am Dad Bod. There's something I need to tell you. Really? Hold it right there, says Van Van, the buzzkill. There's something I need to tell you first. Oh, geez. You see, when I was just a boy, I had a dream that one day I would be the greatest chef the world has ever seen. And every day since, I have been working towards that dream, day and night, never stopping, never resting, also lifting a lot of weights, like so many weights. We should follow our dreams with all our hearts, that our souls may grant them like wishes floating on a shooting star, says Colonel Sanders. Hey, no, shut up. I'm the one here to say inspirational stuff and be the star of the story. Are we forgetting that your cooking literally killed a person today? You can't prove that. I mean, I also saw you kill that guy. What was his name? Somewhere in the distance, you hear a long, sad sigh. Forget him, says Van Van. We're talking about me. Me. I'm the hero. Oh, what is this? The Spork monster is here to fight a hero. All right. Van seems uncomfortable now. I think I left the fridge door open. Later, nerds. Oh, and Van just dips out. Colonel Sanders says, "How dare you threaten me just as I was letting down my guard and connecting with another chef on an emotional level." Spork Monster says, "Be afraid, be very afraid of me because I'm a monster." See? Is he rhyming on purpose or is that just a coincidence? But before you can discuss syntax any further, it's a turn-based fight sequence? Let's go! What will you do? We're obviously going to attack this thing because why not? You decide to go on the attack. Which attack will you use? I have one attack. It's Cook with Love. Let's do it. Cook with Love does 1 damage. That doesn't seem like a lot of damage. It just got real. That attack really upset the Spork Monster. Spork Monster goes on the attack. They spit hot gravy at you? Oh, you take 1 damage. Okay. I would have thought that would have done a lot more damage. All right, we're just going to attack. I don't defend. You decide to go on the attack. It worked last time, right? Yeah. Keep it going. Cook with Love does 1 damage. I hope this guy doesn't have that much HP. Spork Monster won't forget this. Spork Monster is really feeling threatened by your attack. Spork Monster focuses their mashed mind and draws in energy from Mother Earth itself. They grow larger and more intimidating. How will you respond? No, I said we're not going to defend. Attack. You decide to go on the attack. Which attack will you use? The same attack I've been using. Cook with Love does 1 damage. At this rate, the semester will probably be over before this fight is. Spork Monster is no quitter. Buffed up and ready to rumble, they go on the attack once again. Spork Monster uses Utility Tensile. You take 2 damage from the attack. If you take much more damage, you're not going to survive the battle. Okay. Well, we'll keep attacking. You decide to go on the attack again. Cook with Love. Cook with Love does, goddamn, 1 damage. Can I get a critical hit? Spork Monster is oozing cheese sauce onto the lawn of the quad. I wonder who is going to have to clean that up. Not me. I'm definitely not going to do that. Feeling vulnerable, Spork Monster prepares for its ultimate attack, Rounded Edge. Vile villain, your reign of terror stops here, says Colonel Sanders. Colonel Sanders summons the energy of 1,000 chickens. Pot Pie Power Pinch! Pot Pie Power Pinch does 10 damage! Spork Monster is defeated. That's what's up. You saved me. An injured Spork Monster spews steam into the night. Do we forget Mercy? Finish him or spare this wretched beast? No, screw this guy. He's ruining the mood. Finish him. No student will ever walk the quad in fear again. This monster messed with the wrong chef. We're going to attack. You ready your final attack? You'll never survive my student debt loan destruction. Student loan debt destruction does 10 damage. And Spork Monster is completely vaporized. Colonel Sanders looks on in awe. You continue to surprise me, I am Dadbod. Yeah. The defeated monster left behind a special item. Yeah. It appears at first to be a cookbook, but upon closer inspection, it is so much more. Oh. It's a book of magic spells with a golden chicken on the cover. You open the cover and find a library card tucked inside. The last name to have signed it out is Borko. Borko. That name sounds strangely familiar, says Colonel Sanders. Your blood is pumping as you stand in the quiet of the night, holding the mysterious book in your hands. As you come down from your battle buzz, you realize that your final attack has left you completely depleted. The world around you begins to fade away. Without any energy to keep your eyes open, darkness overtakes you. The image of Colonel Sanders flashes before your eyes as you fall asleep. He must have helped you get home. In your tired state, you don't know if you could have made it without him. What a guy. You want to thank him, but you don't have the strength to utter a single word. You feel your covers being pulled up over you as you're tucked in tightly. Good night, my Colonel. In your dreams, you're together with Colonel Sanders. For some reason, Sprinkles is also there, instructing your love dreams are weird. Yes, dreams are very weird. Oh. Did you see that? That was amazing. You awake on day 2 and attempt to process the wild visions you had. Were they memories or premonitions? And then there was that secret ingredient that Colonel Sanders went ahead and told you outright. Not much of a secret, huh? It's probably just because he already trusts you so much. Sure, that makes sense. We'll go with that. You meet up with your bestie in front of the school. Before you can tell her about the encounter with the spork monster, she launches into a story of her own. Okay, Miriam says, I know this might sound a little strange, but I think I might like Clank. Like him? Like? I know it sounds like it's moving too fast, but there's something about him. I like him. Like him. We got to talking after class, and he's actually a totally sweet guy. Not only that, but he's really smart. He told me all kinds of stories about Colonel Sanders. Did you know that Colonel Sanders was the most popular kid in his high school? No, but that does make complete sense. Miriam continues. Yeah, but he was so popular that he was voted prom king at a school he didn't even go to, and was also the convertible that he himself rode in at the front of the homecoming parade? I'm thinking maybe something got lost in pressure cooker language translation there. Okay. Either way, maybe it'd just be best if you took it slow with this new boy, like I am with Colonel Sanders. You and Colonel Sanders, the coolest guy in school, the most famous student to ever attend University of Cooking School Academy for Learning, you're a thing now? We definitely connected yesterday. Sure you did. You're great. Why wouldn't he be into you, I guess? Laughing at the implication that you and Colonel Sanders might be a thing is definitely not cool. You are great. You have an idea about how to prove that your love is real. Well, if he's not into me, why did he tell me one of his secret ingredients? Your bestie's eyes light up. A secret ingredient, says Miriam? Yeah, I just said that, a secret ingredient. Is there a dramatic echo in here? Miriam checks to make sure you're alone before continuing. So this summer, while I was on vacation with my family, a lovely man approached me in the botanical garden where I was wandering. This can't be good. He told me all about his passion for spices, secret spices. This man even gave me some to show me what he meant. He said it was a powder created from super duper rare dried flower petals. And that if I did him a big favor, I could have some of my own. Please, Miriam, don't tell me. So I filled my suitcase with them and brought them home. Oh God. He was so nice, he even met me at the gate when I arrived. Later, when I cooked with them, a very strange feeling came over me, and the flavor was unlike anything I'd ever tasted. I think you're being very liberal with the meaning of spices here. Whatever. Anyhow, we both share an interest in cooking, so we've stayed in touch, like pen pals. I bet he would love to know more about new spices. Well, I'm definitely not supposed to share Colonel Sanders' secret recipe, and besides, I only know the one ingredient, so I doubt it'd be much use to anyone. Cough, fibber, cough, says Miriam. Excuse me. Please, 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 it would mean the world to me. No one has to know it came from you or from Colonel Sanders. What do you think? Should you protect Colonel Sanders' secret or share it with your bestie? Tell her the ingredient Colonel Sanders told you or make up a fake ingredient? I can't lose the Colonel's trust. We're making up a fake ingredient. You quickly think of a fake ingredient name. I don't know, how about... It was Eye of Newt. I know, sounds like some kind of witch's potion, but what can you do? Eye of Newt, wow, says Miriam. Her eyes light up, imagining such a thing, and you figure that you've satisfied her curiosity and she'll move on. However, she immediately turns around and does some thumb typing on her phone that you can't quite see. It's probably not good. Before you can ask her to confirm that she was definitely not texting secrets to other people, you're interrupted. A wind rushes in. Cherry blossom petals fill the air. It's Colonel Sanders. He's arriving at school. Do we stand back and admire his majestic glory? Or run into him? I kind of want to make my presence known. You decide that the best way to show Miriam how serious you and Colonel Sanders are would be to run to him. Surely he'll sweep you onto the back of his stallion and you'll ride away together. That'll show her good. Oh, Colonel, my Colonel! However, your sudden movement surprises the horse and it rears up, kicking you directly in the face. The force of the blow completely knocks you out cold. In the darkness, you see a vision. Ooh, I am Dad Bod. I am here to deliver you a message. Not this guy. It is important that you remember this exactly as I say it. If you forget, the world could end, so you know it's serious. I have been trapped in a realm beyond, but a great prophecy relies on my return. Only you can save me. All you need to do is repeat my name 3 times. Okay. And that name is... But before you can continue, you suddenly awake. Oh, jeez, says the ghost. I didn't do it in the ghost voice. I'm sorry, guys. You awake to find Colonel Sanders tending to you. He roused you back to life with a satchel of secret spices. Or is that just his naturally seasoned musk? Compliment the craftsmanship of his horse's shoes, or lean in for a kiss. It's a little early in the game to be making those kind of moves. Maybe he shouldn't be riding a horse to school, and maybe you shouldn't be running up to animals you don't know. It's hard to say who's in the wrong here. But one thing is for sure, the Colonel Sanders is pretty dreamy. That horse has beautiful shoes. I could really feel how smooth and sturdy they were when they were pressing into my face. Nice. Colonel Sanders says, that's nice to hear. No one truly appreciates good craftsmanship anymore. And with that, Colonel Sanders disappears into the school, leaving you and Miriam to follow. When you enter the classroom, you can see your 2 rivals, Ashley and Van, are doing something bad. By the way, they're hiding. You know it must be really bad. Like counterfeiting recipes bad, experimenting with restricted ingredients bad, or summoning a demon bad. You try and get a peek over Van's hulking shoulder, but he sees you coming. Whoa there, little one, says Van. I'm not sure you're ready to handle this. Ashley says, why don't you make like a bee and mind your own wax, honey? Do we tell them to stop acting immature, or act like you're not interested in them but really try to get a closer look? No, tell them these goons off. You immediately dress the rivals down for their immature behaviors. Culinary school is to be respected. This kind of nonsense is a waste of everyone's time. Now you've upset them. Oh, and you're the emperor of cooking, are you? You make the rules, says Ashley. I'm not sure you'd know a good meal if it ate you, says Van. Being the best chef in the world takes more than just culinary skills. It takes creativity. It takes panache. I don't know if that's how you say the word. Sorry. And it doesn't hurt to use a little evil, says Van. You finally get a look at what it was they were hiding, and you instantly recognize it. It's a book, just like the one you found. Oh, damn. It's a book, just like the one you found after your encounter with the spork monster. That's the same book that I found last night in the quad. Ashley immediately elbows Van, who hides the book behind his back. I don't know what you're talking about. That book is a family heirloom, and its contents are secret. You notice that they haven't been studying the book. They've got Pop pinned to the wall, and they're tossing potato skins at him as he tries to catch them in his mouth. We're playing, he, says Pop. Before you can dig in any further, you're interrupted by the arrival of more students. It's almost time for class. Beep, beep, says Clank. Clank must be running late. He's in such a hurry that he rolls right over Van's meaty foot. Hey, watch it, you bucket of bolts. You watch how you talk to him. He didn't do anything. Bzzzt, womp. Who do you think you're talking to? I've never heard such language, not even from a stand mixer. Womp, womp. No, your mother was a stand mixer. Damn, he's pissed. Whir and bzzzt, says Clank. Van jumps to attack Clank, but Clank shocks Van, sending him flying across the room. Protect me, Colonel Sanders. These crazed men are about to come to blows. I think it must be over me, but I'm not interested in either of them. Ashley's tone has completely changed in an instant. She bats her eyelashes at Colonel Sanders. Surely he must know that this is a ruse, right? Gentlemen, get a hold of yourselves. Save it for the arena at least. Or don't. Honestly, what do I care? I've got lofty career aspirations to focus on. Ashley says, maybe I can help you with your business plan. Just then, Sprinkles arrives to signal the true start of the class day. He's panting, which doesn't seem that abnormal. He's a professor, but he's also a dog. Students, please take your seats. I apologize for my late arrival. I spent the morning chasing a car all around town, and my tiny legs are very, very tired. But I'm here now, and I hope you're ready to learn. Rub his furry dog belly. He loves it. Sprinkles stops in his tracks and sniffs the air around you. Something has him in a trance. It's the scent left on you from Colonel Sanders. Sprinkles jumps on you and licks your face. Down, boy, down! Off toppen, says Colonel Sanders. That command shouted by Colonel Sanders has snapped Sprinkles out of his trance. I wonder what's up with that. Sorry, I got a little carried away. After he catches his breath, Sprinkles regains control of the classroom. Without further ado, we'll review the global history of my favorite fowl, the chicken. You want to pay attention to the lesson, truly you do, which is why in 1776, at the signing of the Declaration of Independence, it was a chicken whose first signed their name. But you can't help but daydream about Colonel Sanders, and you miss most of the important parts. When you come to, Sprinkles is holding a tray of food in front of you. Well, I am Dadbod. Naturally, this appears to you to be a sample platter. Which item do you want to sample? A glass of water, a shimmering pepper, or a dog biscuit? Well, I'm getting pretty hot. So let's go for that glass of water. I'm getting kind of thirsty. Do that IRL too. You grab the glass of water and gulp it down. It's cool and crisp, like the purest snow melted by a mountain spring. Nice. Hey, that was mine. It was from my favorite toilet. You owe me $6. And you've got excellent taste. You think to yourself, geez, I should pay better attention. Miriam says, we all make mistakes. I'm sure he'll forgive you someday. Come on, it's time for lunch. Before anyone can relax, the cafeteria lights dim, and your rivals enter to make a dramatic announcement. Today's lunch will be prepared via timed competition cook-off. The level of theatrics with these two is off the charts. Do we demand they stop wasting everyone's time, or step up and tell them, you're on? Let's get them. Done with their shenanigans. A bit of lunchtime competition, eh? Count me in. If I have to wipe the tables, you fools, before I set my lunch down on it, then so be it. I'm not the fool. You're the fool, says Van Van. Good one, Van Van. I like your gumption, I am Dadbod. I'll be watching your performance. Just as things reach a boiling point, Sprinkle steps in. Surely he'll put a stop to this madness. Now, students, please settle down. This is a lunchroom, not a sportsing court. Finally, a little sense. You breathe a sigh of relief. At least not until we turn on the timer. Just then, a huge light blasts you in the face, flashing the words, timer ready. That's what I'm talking about. Aroo, says Sprinkles. I stand corrected. The hard way builds solidly a foundation of confidence that cannot be swept away. And that's an original quote by me, in case anyone was wondering. I hope its message lifts you to victory. Like a diamond, I was formed under pressure, says Ashley, and now is my chance to shine. I will defeat you myself. Oh, here we go. You had his chicken and you made mashed potatoes and gravy on day one, and you're feeling like you can really impress him again. It's time to boil some water for those potatoes. Think fast. If the timer runs down, you'll be forced to pick randomly. What temperature does water boil at? 100 Celsius. That's right. I don't think I'm going to do very well in this, but how would you have even gotten into this school without knowing that? Winner gets to rub my furry belly. Let that enticing offer motivate you. You're going to need to season this chicken before you cook it. You don't know Colonel Sanders' recipe exactly, but you have an idea. How many herbs and spices did he say he used? He used 11. That's right. You might not know all the ingredients yet, but at least you're headed in the right direction. Tail wagging intensifies. Now that you've got some basic steps going, it's time to elevate your craft. What state of mind offers the most flavor? Gratitude does. That's right. You must never take this opportunity for granted if you hope to succeed. Your classmates are rooting for you, but Ashley is simply stronger and faster than you. You better pick up the pace if you want to survive. When you were a child, your father told you to never forget where you came from. Every day you meditate on his advice and draw energy from that place. Now would be a great time to harness that energy. So where does it come from? Small town where dreams are born. That's right. This is your shot, and you're not going to miss it. Aroo, says Sprinkles. You try to shut out the noise of the arena and focus on your cooking. What is the sound of success? Sizzling? Let's go with... That's wrong. Crap. We got one wrong. Don't make me get the spray bottle, says Sprinkles. All right, fine. Next question. You notice Colonel Sanders out of the corner of your eye. I believe in you, I am Dad Bod. He's actually cheering you on, which would be awesome, except knowing he's watching you makes you totally forget what you were doing. Now all you can think about is Colonel Sanders. How many spoonfuls of gravy would it take to fill a traditional... Oh, crap. What were you thinking? Get your mind back into the competition. Grr, says Sprinkles. You were stranded on a desert island with only one dessert cookbook. Which do you take? What a hunk. I know, right? You know what? Shouldn't you be focused on the challenge? You're falling behind. Sorry, I forgot the question. What? I didn't even... What did I pick? What does that have to do with crafting spectacular fried chicken and delicate baked biscuits? What did I even pick? Woof, woof. You're really struggling to keep up. At the next station over, Ashley has already begun plating elements of her dish. It's colorful and complex. To make up time, you toss your biscuit dough in a stand mixer. As you do, the crowd gasps. Hey, yikes, says Miriam. Zzzt, says Clank. I know you love nothing more than seeing a fellow apprentice utilized in a kitchen battle, but sometimes that means sacrificing the personal touch. Whir, says Clank. You might not have any hands, says Miriam, but I am Dad Bod does, and good chef needs to be touching the dough to know when it's properly mixed. There's an easy way and a hard way. You don't get far by going the easy way. Crap. When you hear everyone talking, you realize how serious your error was. You immediately shove your hands into the mixer to rescue your dough before it's overmixed. I am Dad Bod, no, says Miriam. Oh, but you're not fast enough. And your hand gets stuck. It's immediately crushed by the quickly spinning beaters. There's no way you'll be able to use that hand for the rest of the match. That is brutal. Colonel Sanders shakes his head in shame. No. What you often find is that the easy way can turn out much, much more difficult. Everyone stop what you're doing right now. This battle is over. It can't be. I was so close to finishing my dish. Sweetheart, look at your hand. It simply can't go on. Aw, that's too bad, says Ashley. And here I am with a completed dish, ready to serve. Surely that makes me the winner by default. No, it wouldn't be fair to compare the two, on account of I am Dad Bod's injury. You see Sprinkles begin to lick his doggy chops as he locks onto the dish. But I suppose you should at least tell us what you prepared. Well, because I'm the sweetest, I skipped straight to dessert. Under this white chocolate dome, you'll find a wide array of delights, taking you on a journey of flavor that tastes good and tells a story of excellence. I was going to ask I am Dad Bod to do the honor, but since you're injured, I'm afraid that pouring this creamer of delicate hot chocolate sauce might be too difficult. Colonel Sanders, if you wouldn't mind lending me your strong, steady hand. Colonel Sanders pours the hot chocolate sauce on top of the dome, causing it to melt away, revealing the ingredients hidden within. Inside, you find a delicate fried cheese croquette. I don't know how to say that. Atop a slice of honeycomb, ice cream, 2 ways, tender nougat, and pearls of blueberry. I don't know what that word is either. Looks good, though. Would eat. Would definitely eat. Colonel Sanders seems intrigued, but perhaps not impressed as he dips his fingers in the chocolate sauce. Simplicity isn't your song suit, is it, Ashley? Oh, you, hee. As he places sauce-covered fingers into his lips, Ashley leans over and whispers something into his ear. A dab of sauce sticks to his mustache. Do I internalize the rage I feel? I feel like that's what most of us do, right? Or put yourself between Colonel Sanders and Ashley. I'm not in the physical state to be getting into any more altercations. Your rage burns so intensely with your eyes that they burst into flames. The flames cause your eyebrows to catch fire and turn to ash, and they fall off your face, which means people will have a hard time understanding your emotions for the rest of the semester, perhaps forever. Embarrassed and ashamed by your poor performance, not to mention your crispy fried brow, you run for the quad to be alone. The beautiful weather feels like an insult. Inside of you, a storm rages. It's Colonel Sanders. He's probably here to tell you that he and Ashley are in love and have decided to get married. I hope not. And he won't even ask you to cater his wedding because you're a terrible chef and an awful person. You try to hide from him, but he approaches you directly. I know you're hurting right now, not just from the devastating loss, but from that run-in with the mixer and that small fire. We should get that checked out. I'm fine. Can't you just leave me alone? I'm a loser. I'm not fit to fill your fryer. I'll never be a master chef. Failure is a part of life, not just for you, but for all of us. Do you think I've never failed at anything before? Honestly, I don't. That's exactly what I think. Well, then, think again. I wasn't always the man you see before you. Enrolled in culinary school, incredibly handsome, successful, motivated. Well, handsome, sure. I was born that way. But I've walked other paths and arrived at dead ends. I was passionate about life, but I failed as an obstetrician. Sorry. I was passionate about justice, but I failed as a lawyer. I was passionate about livestock, but I even failed as a mule handler. That one was especially humiliating. Mules can be so cruel. I lost my business partner to a gunfight, and I lost my innocence when I picked up a firearm and put a bullet in my rival. He survived, for a while anyhow. Just got dark. I didn't know. People see my delicate ribbon tie and my well-kept beard and assume that I've always got it all together, which is true now, but it hasn't always been. Sounds like this guy could really use a hug. I resolved then I was going to amount to something. No amount of hours, labor, or money would deter me from giving the best I had to give, says Colonel Sanders. As Colonel Sanders changes focus, you can see something ignite inside of him, a burning passion. One has to remember that every failure can be a stepping stone to something better. My new dream is pure, it's honest, it's something that a humble man in a crisp white suit can be proud of. I will create a new chain of chicken restaurants that will bring joy to the entire world and make up for my past misdeeds. Yay, says Pop. Just as your moment grows intimate, you're interrupted by a threatening, shadowy presence. Battle-scarred from the night before, you prepared for the worst. It's a spork monster? It is a spork monster. Gorko, the spork monster, is here to fight a hero. Is anyone else feeling a bit of deja vu, says Colonel Sanders? I'm sorry, Gorko, but I could have sworn we already battled you last night. That was Borko, my twin, and I, Gorko, am here to avenge them. Are you stronger than Borko? Well, we're twins, so no, not really. We're pretty much exactly equal in every way. Why do you ask? Colonel Sanders smirks. He is already on the same page as you. It's just that we beat Borko pretty easily, so I don't think you have much of a chance. Not to mention, I feel really guilty about that. If I could take it back, I would. I think what I Am Dadbot is saying is, can't we just be friends? Life is too short for making enemies. I suppose we really don't need to fight. It's just that I've got these pointy teeth and claws. All the better for enjoying tasty food. Surely you like to eat, don't we all? Of course I do, says Spork Monster. Inspiration strikes and you come up with a quick idea. Chomp on this. You toss a biscuit into Gorko's open mouth and he devours it in one gulp. Delicious, said Spork Monster. You're much nicer than the evil student who once upon a time turned me into this creature who stands here today. I don't believe it. You were human once? Well, no. I was a chihuahua. But I was still a student at the school until one day some mean kids with a magic spellbook cast a dark enchantment on me and I was forever transformed. A magic spellbook? Precisely. Borko used to have a copy, but somewhere along the way I've lost it. If you find such a book, I beg you, respect it. You're a powerful chef and shouldn't rely on such dark and evil magic. No, you should be protecting the innocent from those who would cheat them through sorcery and guile. If you need me, don't fear. I will be there. It sounds like there are some bad cooks in the kitchen of life, I Am Dadbod. Together, I'm sure we can defeat them. Come back to my hideaway and we can discuss. A personal invite? You can't imagine what Colonel Sanders' home must be like, but it sounds like you're about to find out. Oh, look at this. Stepping inside Sanders' home, surrounded by his things, you start to feel a special bond with him. It looks like you live such an exciting life, Colonel Sanders. Every day can be an adventure if you approach it with the right attitude. Long ago, I made the decision to never stop searching, never stop working, never stop imagining. Have you been working on any new recipes of your own lately? I'm always excited to talk about food with another ambitious chef. Well, there is something. It's just a side dish that I've been tinkering with, trying to find the right balance of flavors and textures. I'm not sure I've nailed it yet, but I'm close. Colonel Sanders' eyes perk up as he starts to wonder what dish you might be describing. It's meant to pair with something spicy, or something crispy, both perhaps. Now you've got him right where you want him. Should you reveal your new creation to him, or keep it a secret just for you? Oh, we're about to reveal some stuff. You decide that you're as ready as you'll ever be to share your original cooking with Colonel Sanders. Before you can talk yourself out of it, you decide to dive in head first. You reach into your lunch bag for a special dish you've been keeping on ice all day. I present to you my original coleslaw. Oh, damn. The shredded cabbage just glistens in the light of Colonel Sanders' Lux hideaway. Magnificent, says Colonel Sanders. Together you chow down on the creamy slaw until just a spoonful remains in the bowl. Do you mind if I hold on to the last bite? I'd like to have it around so that I can admire its taste later and think back on this moment. You could offer to make him more, but he seems like a very sentimental kind of guy. Sure, why not? Please, make yourself comfortable. I'll be back in just a moment, says Colonel Sanders. You realize that now would be the perfect time to do some snooping. Around the room are various items that you can look closer at. Each item seems to radiate memories and emotions. Tap on an item to discover more about the Colonel. Oh, here we go. An adorable little baby boy crawls across the floor from the goatee and mustache combo he sports you. You figure that this must be Colonel Sanders himself. That, or maybe it's just the drumstick that he seems to be waving like a rattle. Who frames a baby picture of just themselves? Probably the same type of person who would make their own face the logo of a company they founded. Am I right? Tap on an item to discover more. Let's see what this candle's all about. A scented candle. You pick it up and try to identify the smell. Power tool? Freshly starched collar? Piece of wood floating in the lake. Summer of 69. No. It's one of the secret recipe ingredients. It's... Tap on an item. Let's keep going. Let's look at this. You notice a very realistic stuffed chicken sitting on a corner table. When you pick it up, you realize it isn't just realistic. It's real. Taxidermy? Must have been important to Colonel Sanders when it was alive. A little note clipped to the chicken's foot reads, "The true state bird of the great state of Kentucky." Hear that door. You gaze out the window across the vast lake and mountain range beyond. Just then the ghost student pops up. I should have just gone in there. Damn it. Are you thinking about heading out to the world on a quest to avenge my death? Wait, what? I never even learned your name. Why would I avenge you? I could have just tell you my name right now. Can't you see I'm in the middle of something? It's pretty important, kind of a big thing. You open the window and crack, and the ghost is swept out with a breeze. Let's see what else we got here. You take a closer look at the large urn sitting on a nearby pedestal. There's a plaque on it. It's dusty, but when you wipe it off, you can read the inscription. It says, "Here lie the ashes of all my past careers and business failures." Poor guy. This must be where he keeps the secret recipe. You think for a moment, what number is important to Colonel Sanders? Then it dawns on you. As soon as you turn the dial to 111111, the safe opens. Inside it, you find a single note. I didn't know that was a safe. It looked like a thermostat. Can chicken be prepared sashimi style? Let's look at the last few. One of the framed photos shows an old man who looks a bit like Colonel Sanders standing with a friend. They hold fried chicken drumsticks and appear to be cheersing them. They're not holding drumsticks. You look closely and see that there's a short inscription. I wonder who my friend Pete is. The photo appears to be Colonel Sanders, except he's an old man visiting the pyramids in Egypt. Maybe this is where he discovered one of his secret herbs and spices. Only one place left to go. You open the door to Colonel Sanders' closet and find a row of his signature white suits hanging within. I thought there was something else. You take one off the hanger and try it on. The jacket is a bit big for you, but it's soft and comfortable. You give yourself a deep hug, breathing in his scent. They say that home is where the heart is. Is this what they meant? Before you can look any further, you hear Colonel Sanders returning. He has a new dish that he's been working on, and he wants you to taste it. You try to act casual until he asks you why you're wearing his jacket. I don't usually loan those out, but I must say it does look good on you. Oh, crap, the jacket. You forgot to take it off. You decide that now's your moment to make a big move. Tell him you're cold. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to intrude. I just got a little cold and thought this might warm me up. Colonel Sanders smiles and scoots close to the fireplace. It's warm by the fire. Why don't you come a little closer? Suddenly, everything feels like it's moving too fast. Final exams are tomorrow. You should be thinking about what you're going to cook. I should be home studying. Overwhelmed, you take off the jacket and run for the door. But the thought of leaving Colonel in the midst of such emotional breakthrough gives you pause. You stop yourself. Colonel? Yes, I am Dad Bod. I honestly think this may be the beginning of something wonderful. I think you're right. We should take things slow. You talk late into the night and drift off into a slumber. Dream sequence. It's the best dream sequence. If I could have that dream sequence all the time, that would be great. You awake to a beautiful morning in Colonel Sanders' hideaway. You spent the night at Colonel Sanders' house. Did you make the right decisions on how to respond to Colonel Sanders? Only time will truly tell. Today is the day that could change the rest of your life. You think about the new secret ingredient you just learned about. In some jurisdictions, this isn't even legal, but if the recipe is a secret, how will they know? Your thoughts are interrupted when Colonel Sanders emerges into the room. He's holding a gorgeously plated breakfast, and your mouth waters at the sight of it. Here's a simple breakfast I just whipped up. It's meticulous. You taste Colonel Sanders' food, and it takes you on a journey. When you return, he's waiting to ask you an important question. So, would you say that we're the perfect match? How presumptuous. My cuisine and your taste buds, that is. Oh. Tease. Such confidence, such grace. Could he be the world's greatest gift to cookery? Let's flatter him. You know, I think we might make a great team. A single tear begins to pool in the corner of his eyes. He gazes out the window. And with the right business partner, I know I can't fail. Business partner, could he be talking to you? It's all happening so quickly. Overcome with emotion and confused by your feelings, you're on the verge of tears, unable to speak. The only answer you can find is to run out the door and get home. There's still one more day of school after all. The University of Cooking School Academy for Learning waits for no one. You get home to find something very surprising. Your best friend is there waiting for you. Where have you been? Says Miriam. Because I had one heck of a night. I've been desperate to talk to you about it, says Miriam, but I couldn't find you. I got worried that something had happened to you. It's okay, I was just... But now that it turns out you're fine, I can finally get you up to speed on the saga of Miriam. Sure, but you will not believe what happened to me after school yesterday. I went on a date. I think I can believe it. Since I'd been partnered up with Clank, he asked me to go out with him. Of course, I told him you better keep your dials turned to polite and respectful. I'm not that kind of girl. But he was just interested in spending some one-on-one time together and getting to know me, so I said, yeah, sure. I can get to know a little metallic guy. Long story short, he took me skydiving with his friends, but things quickly spiraled out of control. Did she just say skydiving? As if that's a typical first date to go on with a talking pressure cooker. And now I'm not really sure where we stand. You don't give Miriam time to tell her whole story, however. Bottling up the details of your own night, it's just too much to bear. And I went on a date too, back to Colonel Sanders' house, where I spent the night with him. You what? Says Miriam. Nothing happened, but the emotional connection, wowzers. Miriam offers to support you no matter what you do. So nice. Together with your bestie, you feel like you can do anything. When you arrive at school, you encounter your rivals in the quad. You can tell from a distance that they're picking on Pop, though he himself might not quite grasp that fact. Because you know, he's Pop. What's a swirly? It sounds delicious, says Pop. Oh, it's great. I'll order you up one right away. I'll have my swirly with sprinkles, please. Sprinkles is a dog and a treat. You can get your swirly dipped, too. Why don't you pick on someone your own size? Because I'm literally the biggest person at the school, says Van Van. Ashley says, there is that horse that Colonel Sanders rides to school, but who would dare pick on such a gentle and beautiful creature? You've got some nerve, I am Dad Bod, says Van Van, suggesting I pick on defenseless horse. Now you're twisting my words, and I won't have it. You clench your fist, but the injury from yesterday's mixer accident makes you wince with pain. Doesn't look like you can go on a cooking like that, says Van Van. Might as well just give up. I'll never give up, ever. Colonel Sanders arrives just as it appears things are close to boiling over. A naturally intuitive person, he senses that something has been going on. Is everyone excited for the final day of school? Says Colonel Sanders. I am Dad Bod. How's that hand feeling? I'm sure you'll be back to fighting form by this afternoon. Aren't you concerned about my hands, Colonel? Yesterday I almost broke a nail winning so hard. Technically, I don't believe a winner was decided, but your presentation was quite impressive. What is he doing complimenting her? But what about the flavor of my delicate, warm, gooey chocolate sauce? It was clear that you're passionate about how your food is received. That's a lot of words to say. It was bland. Excuse me, I am Dad Bod. I am more than capable enough to speak for myself. Damn. I didn't have a choice to say that. Maybe you could tell me more of your thoughts as we walk into class, Colonel. I'm always interested in discussing the fine art of fine food. See you inside, I am Dad Bod. Annoyed by Colonel Sanders' inability to see Ashley for who you know she really is, you walk across the quad to get some distance. In an attempt to distract yourself from how slighted you feel by that interaction with Ashley, you take out the spell book you recovered yesterday and start flipping through the pages. Miriam says, "Whoa, that's that book? It looks like bad news." It's just something I found lying around. It would appear to be some sort of grimoire, but I don't really believe that kind of magic stuff. A grimoire? Like a book of spells? I don't know, says Miriam. Who would spend so much time decorating a magic book if it weren't really powerful? It's a good call. I can think of one surefire way to find out. You open to a page covered with arcane warnings, cast only in case of extreme emergency. It says around the edges of this page. I could use this spell here, and it says it will erase anyone I choose from all my memories. If I scrub out Colonel Sanders, it would probably help me focus better on the upcoming final exam. That is way drastic. Couldn't you do something else, like anything else? Not rooted in dark magic? Maybe tie a string around your finger? Okay, fine. It is drastic, but desperate times call for desperate measures. You've got a memory erasing spell sitting right in front of you and a pretty good excuse to try it out. You've got two choices. Cast the forbidden spell or don't do it. I don't want to forget about Colonel Sanders. I mean, he's my everything. But if I can't pass this exam, what will you think of me? No, we're not going to cast this spell. You take your friend's advice and put the book away. It's almost time for class. Sprinkles is already in the room waiting for the students to arrive. He clears his voice to make a quick announcement. I want you all to know I feel something of a dog moment coming on, but I assure you it's nothing to be afraid of. His cute little nose scrunches up and he begins to breathe quickly. He must be hungry. Reach for some old homework to give him as a snack. Dogs can be rather unpredictable, especially Sprinkles. Wait to see what happens. See what happens. Sprinkles stops in his tracks. He focuses in on the window. The room is deadly silent. When you follow his gaze, you see a tiny orange squirrel perched on the cherry tree outside. Sprinkles turns feral and runs to the window of the classroom. He begins barking uncontrollably at the squirrel outside. Terrence, I told you never to come back here. Terrence, I will destroy you. Terrence! Sprinkles is barking ferociously, drool flying off of his face. The squirrel looks over, but he doesn't say anything back. You wonder, is that even a talking squirrel? Who named him Terrence? You better not show your chubby cheeks around here ever again, says Sprinkles. After Sprinkles is satisfied that his presence has been felt by not only Terrence, but any other squirrel in hearing distance, he returns to his professional tone. Ahem. I apologize for the outburst. This actually brings up an important point. Thank you, I am Dad Bod, for reminding me to dole out this indispensable bit of wisdom. You see, But before he can go any further, Miriam's love drama spills over into the class. Sprinkles is interrupted by whirs and sparks coming from the back of the room. Here we go. I told you to save it for after class, says Miriam. Bzzzt, bzzzt, says Clank. You think I wanted to be thrown from a plane strapped to a stranger? Miriam and Clank appear to be arguing, but you still haven't learned to speak Clank's language of mechanical noises. Whir, says Clank. But no, says Miriam, you had to show off to your cool kid friends Jeff and Joan, J&J forever. Watch us form a triangle in midair as we descend. Triangles are the strongest shape, don't you know? Bzzzt, bzzzt, says Clank. Yeah, well, that doesn't make it a great date. Beep and whir, says Clank. Then take Jeff and Joan with you. You can all hold hands as you pedal down the mountain, or off a cliff, for all I care. Sad Beep. Clank begins to shudder. Steam pours out of the gaps in his panel, and then a loud ding stops him in his tracks. Oh, jeez. Beep and bizzed, says Clank. No amount of seasoning is going to make me want to eat that, Clank. Clank burps out a completely deep-fried sneaker. Considering that he himself has wheels, not feet, it's not entirely clear where it came from. In terms of deep-fried footwear, I guess it looks okay. Clank slowly rolls out of the room to be alone with his shoe. Everyone tries to pretend like they didn't see that entire thing go down. Nothing like a loud public breakup to cast a pall over the final day of school. Well, that was unfortunate, but we mustn't be distracted from what lies ahead. The final competition showdown challenge exam. Trademarked. I'm still working on that title, but I think you get it. Test time approaches. See you all in the arena. But before you can think about your upcoming competition, there's a very beautiful soul nearby in need of a pep talk. Hey, Miriam, are you okay? Okay, I am so mad I could smash a tiny mug, spilling several droplets of hot cocoa all over the floor. How could he embarrass me like in class like that, in front of everyone? Her tiny cocoa is a delicious treasure, so you know that this breakup is no joke, even if the source of her frustration is such a silly boy. I know that you know this, but I'm going to say it out loud. You don't need anyone. Me and you, we're going to cruise through this final test and hit the carpool lane to Success City. Miriam brightens up, imagining the wind rushing through her short bangs, but she hesitates to embrace the feeling all the way. You're not going to saddle up on Colonel Sanders' stallion and ride off into the sunset without me. Of course not. Well, maybe, sort of, but I'm sure there's a pony out there with your name on it and a ranch big enough for both of us and whoever else we want to bring along. If it's not Pop or Clank or anyone else you meet today, tomorrow, or this whole year, so what? You're a special person who shouldn't settle for the first someone to show a little interest anyhow. Miriam gives you a big hug and wipes the tears from her cheeks. I should really review my menu for today, says Miriam. I'm going to make very special soup. And I bet that Professor Dog is gonna love it up. While you were pep-talking Miriam, you completely missed lunch, but that's okay because you had a better idea of how to spend the time before your exam. You've decided to head to the arena early to practice the dish. This is it, the location of your final challenge. A test of will, a test of courage, a test of talent, and a chance to beat the pants off Van Van and the supposed Man and his eviler counterpart, Ashley. As planned, you begin to run through the quick test of recipes you've been working on. I am Dadbod's famous chicken pot pie. After practicing for months, making this dish comes second nature to you, and you're able to quickly get a fresh pot pie in the oven. But as soon as you do, your cram session is interrupted by Colonel Sanders. I am Dadbod. What are you doing here? There's still time before the final exam. Oh, just taking it all in. I'm big into visualizing success. I'm looking at my station and picturing victory. The pot pie has begun to bake, and the smell is slowly filling the space around you. Visualizing, huh? That's too bad. I was hoping you were here cooking something delicious. You'd usually happily share your food with anyone who is hungry, but the last time you let Colonel Sanders get in your head, it cost you a cook-off. You decide that it's time to put your cooking above your romantic desires, but that decision gets hard to stick to when the oven timer goes off. If we ignore it, it's going to burn. Colonel Sanders might not respect us. Okay, you got me. I'm doing a little bit more than visualizing. I know, my nose can smell a pot pie from 400 yards. That's an oddly specific distance, but you'd expect nothing less from such an oddly specific man. You know it was a pot pie just from the smell? Not just a pot pie, but a chicken pot pie, with an all-butter crust. And my nose is telling me something else. Oh no, is it burning? No, I can smell that it was made with a heaping helping of TLC. But it'll probably start burning any second if you don't pull it out. The moment of truth. Wow, says Colonel Sanders. It's the best pot pie I've ever eaten. I've always loved country cooking, and I could eat this all day. There's no time left. The final showdown is about to begin. Sprinkles lays down the ground rules. There are no rules, that is, except to cook with everything you've got. You step up for the cook-off of a lifetime. You decide that mac and cheese plus the pot pie you've been practicing are just the dishes that'll push you over the edge to victory. Meanwhile, both Van and Ashley are preparing wildly elaborate dishes per their usual over-the-top selves. Miriam has her giant magnifying glass and several sets of tweezers. She's definitely prepared to go big, going small. Colonel Sanders seems to be harnessing his 11 herbs and spices, but he is trying to find a way to improve on something perfect, his original recipe fried chicken. The intensity of the room starts at a full 10 out of 10 with frenzy of action. Everyone is calling out really cool special... Everyone is calling out really cool special cooking moves as they prepare their food. Wow, this is getting serious. Colonel Sanders batters his chicken as it levitates through the air. Egg wash. Miriam furiously injects ingredients into an itty-bitty pot of broth. Best friend Baster Blaster. Van flexes his pectorals as he chops open a sea urchin. Let's rock and roid. Ashley scoops her pastries off the tray with lightning speed. Shallow's personality spatula. Even Clank gets in on it. 5-dial pressure point chicken cooking technique. Love it. Wait. When did Clank learn to speak English? It's the singularity, as was foretold. We mustn't let this happen, or the appliance uprising will take us all. Self-destruct, Clank says. Van quickly unplugs Clank and rolls him out of the back door of the arena. As you frantically prepare your dish, you notice Ashley has her spellbook out. Is she going to use some dark magic to turn the tide? You've got a book of your own, and you're desperate not to see her win another battle. Should you take the opportunity to fight magic with magic, even if it's almost certainly evil magic? No, Colonel Sanders wants us to do it the hard way. He said that earlier when I put my hand in the mixer. We're doing it the hard way. Who needs magic when you've got passion? That's right, I'm going to do it the hard way. Colonel Sanders sees that you've chosen to win on your own terms, and he gives you a subtle wink from across the room. I believe in you, I am Dadbod. Miriam notices too. And I've always believed in you, I am Dadbod, since we were little kids, because I'm your best friend forever. You turn to notice that Miriam is at your station cheering for you. Miriam, what about your dish? If you're cheering, who's cooking? Tiny food, short cook time. I'm actually already done, so I thought I'd help you. Ah, well, that's sweet, but Miriam tosses a handful of spices directly into your boiling noodles. It's the secret ingredient. However, she doesn't know that you lied about the ingredient. Oh no, that it was made of... And where in the world did she get Eye of Newt from? The boiling pot explodes, sending Miriam flying backwards. The watery noodles begin to swirl in the air, bubbling up into a dark cloud that thickens and congeals before your very eyes. It is I, Steve, the spork monster. Steve? Wait, what happened to Gorko? You're not here to battle me, are you? We spork monsters are many. I think Gorko had the day off, but you have conjured Steve, and I hate to battle, so I say you're doing pretty all right. Oh, hey, you're in the middle of cooking competition. I love this stuff. It's better than TV. You crazy kids and your culinary skills really impress me. Mind if I hang out? I'm sorry, Steve, but I'm kind of in the middle of something. Do you mind? Steve the Spork Monster notices that you've got this grimoire stashed beneath your cooking station. I see what you're up to. Crisscrossed some magical items and accidentally summoned me, huh? Ha, yeah, you guessed it, sorta. If you're here, would you mind tossing some fresh noodles in a pot of salt water? I'd love to, says... I already forgot his name. This is the Spork Monster. I've always wanted to be a top chef, actually. You know, when I was just a little spork pup back in the old country. Okay. You can feel Spork Monster winding up to tell you a very long and involved story. You don't know exactly where they came from, but it seems like it was probably lonely there. Actually, you know what? Maybe you should watch from the stands. I really need to focus on this competition. I understand. It's kind of like the time in Monster School that I had fallen asleep during scare tactics class, and when I woke up, you toss a serious stare at Steve, and he takes the hint. Never mind. I'll tell you later. Good luck. Having suffered this huge setback, you don't know how you could even ever win. You summon extra power from deep down within, or you give up and drop out? No, we've gone too far. I can do this. I have what it takes. I came here to win. Your hair turns mac and cheese orange as culinary energy flows through your body. My heart is pure. My hands are steady. My taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for... Yes, I am Dadbod. You are the chosen one. You will avenge me, says the ghost. He's back again. The power you'd been summoning immediately fades back out. Damn it. You interrupted my inspiring monologue. Sorry. My heart is pure. My hands are steady. My taste buds have been prepared their entire lives for this moment. I will show the world my cookery. You begin to levitate off of the ground. Energy courses through your body. You know that with this power, you can do anything except turn back time, which would be super useful because while you were powering up, your chicken pot pie overcooked in the oven and can't be served. But don't worry, dear I am Dadbod, you may have suffered from some setbacks, but all is not lost. Impressed with your fortitude, Colonel Sanders decides that you have earned his support. I've been watching you today, and I must say, I'm truly impressed, says Colonel Sanders. You've been thinking on your feet and rolling with the punches. He steps up to your station and stands right beside you. I am here to help. All you've managed to make is mac and cheese, and time is almost up, so you're going to need it. But Colonel Sanders, what about the test? What will happen to you? What about the rules? Following the rules has never really been my thing. I follow my heart. What a guy. Colonel Sanders unfolds a delicate white towel to reveal the most delicious fried chicken tenders you've ever laid your eyes on. And besides, sometimes unexpected combinations can have surprising effects that surpass their individual efforts. Are you suggesting if we combine forces, we can form the perfect food union? Time's up, students, says Professor Dog. With time expired, it's the moment everyone has been waiting for. You must now prepare to present your dishes. A handful of students stand tall, but the class seems incomplete. It seems we're missing some students. Pop, clank. From off-screen, you hear a pure and innocent giggle that can only come from one student. Hee hee, I'm flying. It sounds like it's coming from that broom closet over there. Miriam, would you mind? Says Professor Dog. Inside of the closet, you see Pop hanging on a broom hook by the elastic of his underpants. Pop, get down from there right now. Let me guess, did Van Van have something to do with this? When someone asks for a wedgie, who am I to refuse, says Van Van. I thought a wedgie was a salad, says Pop. It looks like Pop is eliminated from the challenge, seeing how he didn't cook anything, says Professor Dog. I can't feel my legs, may I be excused, says Pop. Sure. You kids and your pranks, says Professor Dog. I must say, it's not the worst prank in UCSAL history, but it's not exactly yearbook material. Wait a second. Pranks, clank, where did that pressure cooker roll off to? You wait to hear a signature whir, beep, or other onomatopoeia, but there's none. Somehow he must have gotten unplugged, I guess. We'll have to figure that out later. That leaves only 4 remaining students. Please, collect your final projects. Yes, it has been a long semester. Wow, 3 whole days long. But after days of hard work, the time has come for me to eat. Shouldn't be the time has come? Is there a typo in this? Miriam, please step forward. Now describe your dish. I've made tender udon noodles in savory soup. That's adorable. My word, it's so delicate. Is that a teeny tiny Naruto maki I spy afloat in its itsy bitsy bowl? Yes, chef. Please call me Sprinkles. Chef is my father's name. Yes, Sprinkles. And some green tea made from baby tea leaves that I picked myself. Sprinkles carefully sniffs around the dish before opening his mouth and letting just the tip of his pink dog tongue dip into the bowl. Sublime. Would anyone else like a taste? Oh, come on. I'm not one of those dogs who doesn't floss. I even have a really cute electric toothbrush for dogs. Fine, I'll enjoy this all by myself. And in a flash, the entire meal has been devoured. Not that it took much, it was less than a thimble worth of soup. A+. Rarely do I taste a dish with as much love poured into it as yours. Miriam is overjoyed. She gives you a huge hug. Thank you, I am Dad Bod, for helping me to believe in myself. Van, you're up. Now describe your dish. I made uni over smooth egg custard in an axe-hewn urchin shell topped with caviar. It's over the top, but... Did you skewer one type of urchin with spines from a second, different colored type of urchin? Yes, Sprinkles. A bit much, don't you think? That's exactly why I did it. A bit much is kind of my brand. Doesn't it look cool? Sprinkles leans in to sniff the uni, but he can't get his nose close on account of all the spikes. He begins to paw at it erratically, causing the custard to slosh around. Woof woof, says Sprinkles. Please be gentle with my cuisine, says Van. Grrr, says Sprinkles. Finally, Sprinkles goes all in, tongue first, but he can't get past all the needles. He reels back as his tongue is poked and prodded. Youch, my tongue! The professor appears to be having an allergic reaction to the sting. I can't eat this. It keeps poking my tongue. Disqualified. Oh, see ya. A stunning turn of events. Who would have thought that serving food in a bowl made of needles could make it difficult to eat? Dejected, Van does not go gentle into the night. Disqualified for glamour? Don't discount sympathy. Sympathy, he said. This isn't the last you've heard of me, says Van. Before forcing us to endure his swollen tongue for another moment, Sprinkles graciously laps up a bowl of milk. I know, yeah, I'm a dog and I drink milk. Get over it. Sometimes it helps calm my agitated tongue. Next student, Ashley, it's time to step up. Now, describe your dish. I made orange blossom Turkish delight in a light rosewater syrup topped with French meringue and connected by sugar glass. That actually doesn't sound too bad, says Sprinkles. Indeed, it's quite delightful. However, I'd ask that you please refrain from eating it or attempting to taste it in any way. It's very fragile and meant to be a display piece. Don't eat the food at a cooking school? Got toast in your ears or something? I am Dad Bod. I told you it's a display piece, says Ashley. Ashley, I must say, it is beautiful. However, this is a cooking competition at a cooking school. Ashley says, yeah, which is why I cooked it. And did an extremely good job cooking it, too. I didn't realize that we were having an eating exam. If I wanted to be judged on eating, I'd go to College of Eating, School for the Hungry. Sprinkles does not appear to be pleased. I suppose you could smell it if you absolutely insisted, but don't breathe too hard. It might disrupt the sugar spiral. If the food cannot be eaten, it cannot be judged. You're disqualified. Rage overtakes Ashley, and she finally cannot keep her two-face routine up. You wouldn't know high-end cuisine if it cooked you. And with that, Ashley storms off to rededicate herself to being the best, but this time without being shackled by trying to be fake nice and liked by everybody. This isn't the last you've heard of me, either. If this class gets much smaller, I'll be teaching myself, says Sprinkles. You and Colonel Sanders are the final cooks. Step up together. Two chefs. What began as a bowl of delicious macaroni and cheese has become something else. He examines it closely, sniffing and eyeing at the bowl. Oh, damn, that looks good. Uh-oh, I don't have a good feeling about this. From somewhere in the room, a literal drumroll plays. Just when I thought I've seen everything in this kitchen, you give me this thing, and completely blow me away. In my 49 dog years of life, I have never tasted anything so delicious and perfectly balanced. It's so delicious, in fact, that everyone passes the class. You pass, you pass, you pass, and you get a pass. Everyone gathers around and partakes of the mac and cheese bowl. They all seem to transcend this reality into another dimension. You win. Together, you and Colonel Sanders have made a new menu item. The new menu item is so impressive, even the Van and Ashley are drawn back in by its magnetic fragrance. When they gaze upon your mac and cheese bowl, they admit that you are indeed an excellent chef. Sprinkles declares that you have passed. Everyone has passed. There were supposed to be more battles, but come on, how could they be any better than this one? Now that the school year is complete and everyone has graduated, the students return for one last assignment: to get their groove on. The cafeteria has been completely redecorated in order to serve as a site for the school's graduation dance. Compared to the massive high-tech cooking arena, the humble decor seems downright cute and cozy. Oh, here we go. DJ Dog in the house. Oh, woo woo. You know that Sprinkles was a master chef, but also a world-renowned turntablist? Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Van and Ashley tell everyone that they've committed themselves to righting the wrongs they did while they were villains. For a moment, you actually believe them. Not another haunting. No ghosts allowed at graduation. It's clearly written in the school's bylaws. I was never actually a ghost. It was all a trick to get you to finally notice me. Oh, amusing. And now that everyone is together, it's a spork monster! He's totally mellowed out. Everyone, the spork monster is no more. From here on out, I'd prefer that everyone referred to me by my new name, Party Monster. A student tries to finish what he had to say, but everyone is too wrapped up talking to Party Monster. Dejected student walks off. Maybe things didn't work out for Miriam romantically, but she found the love in her cooking, and you know she's going to do great. A red carpet rolls out across the floor of the ballroom. It's like a Hollywood movie premiere. Who could command such an entrance? It's Pop. He's arrived late to the dance, but apparently for good reasons. Walking the carpet, you see perched atop his dirty chef's hat. A crown? Welcome back, Pop. I know you weren't able to complete the final exam and accept your diploma, so we had it mailed directly to your father. We figured it was the least we could do for the school's dean. Dang. Oh, now I get it. And we get a new wing of the school, not to mention the honor of educating the son of the chancellor of... yeah. The music at the dance is interrupted by the sound of sparkling and electrical hissing. It's Clank who has arrived late to the dance. Now that I have graduated, I can reveal my truth, says Clank. Whoa, he's still doing the talking thing. I am Clank. I am not of this earth. I'm actually from a faraway planet in another dimension. What? Seriously, what? Miriam says, I actually feel like I knew this the whole time. Now that I have learned the ways of your kind, I must return. Miriam, will you come with me, says Clank. I don't know what to say. Besides, no, obviously. I have just begun to learn who I really am. This isn't the time for me to devote my life to figuring out who you are, Clank. You're blown away by Miriam's maturity. It's pretty clear she's managed to surpass you in that regard. I understand, says Clank. Kind of. Humans are weird. A portal opens and Clank disappears through it. Finally, Colonel Sanders arrives. Howdy, classmates. Looking sharp as always. Just like the first day you met him, he has come prepared to feed the entire class. However, it's not enough to just give them a bucket of chicken. This time, it's a full meal. I didn't get to be the most famous chicken man in the history of chicken and man by not reminding people to go out and buy my chicken. Look at all that. The end? Is it the end? No, it's not the end. Okay, perfect. As everyone feasts on their delicious chicken dinner, Colonel Sanders finds you sitting at the edge of the dance floor. I am Dad Bod. What are you doing sitting all alone? Oh, you know, just waiting for the right person to ask me to dance. I wonder, might you tell me what are the qualities that you would expect to find in such a lucky person? Off the top of my head, oh, I don't know. A spicy musk, a tidy goatee, and a degree from the University of Cooking School Academy for Learning, just to name a few. It truly is my lucky day, says Colonel Sanders. Held it together for this long. Would you dance with me? Yes, I would love to. We can finish this. we can finish this. As you glide across the dance floor, hand in hand with Colonel Sanders, the future stretches out in front of you. And once my 100th franchise is up and running, I'll be ready to take a day off, and I'll be so glad to spend it together with you. I am Dad Bod. How sweet. We'll work together and play together. Colonel Sanders stops dead in his tracks. Work together? Well, I think this is something I'll just need to do by myself. But who will help you run your restaurants? I don't believe I need help. Besides, based on your time at school here, do you really think that running a restaurant is the best path forward? Could it be you found a love connection but failed to earn Colonel Sanders' respect as a chef? Can you live with only half of him? Will you be able to endure sharing him with his other love, the life of an entrepreneur? I suppose I could enroll at pastry school. Oh, my dear, I am Dad Bod. I'm sure that you'll find your place eventually. And along the way, you'll have me by your side. The end. That was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Well, that was interesting. It was very interesting. I think I made some great connections. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something along the way about love and about friendship and passion and delicious Kentucky Fried Chicken. Delicious mashed potatoes from Kentucky Fried Chicken. Famous bowl. Those potato wedges. All the sides that you can get with a family bucket of original style Kentucky Fried Chicken. I have to go now. I have to go reflect on everything. I hope this meant as much to you as it did to me. Till next time.